Welcome back to the 2.5 Losers podcast.
That's the wrong name. That's the wrong name.
Did I?
That's a podcast we haven't done an episode of in a year and a half, Tyler.
You said 2.5 Losers before we started, and now that's in my fucking head.
It was part of a joke, that's why. You get Tyler. God damn it. Come on. This is serious amateur hour. First take, I mute myself on Discord so Tyler can't hear me because I got a new mouse and I'm not used to having all these options on one mouse. Second of all, Tyler just completely fucking forgets the name of our podcast. Jesus. Welcome back to the Joe Rogan podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Joe Rogan.
It's the Joe Rogan Experience.
Oh fuck! I've never actually listened to one. I've seen some clips on YouTube.
Watch the full Neil deGrasse Tyson ones. They're the only ones worth watching because Neil deGrasse Tyson is awesome.
Yeah, and aliens, right?
Yes.
That was the meme, right?
Aliens. The best thing about watching the Joe Rogan Experience with Neil deGrasse Tyson is because Joe Rogan gets shut down on all of this stupid shit that he believes in, conspiracy theories and everything. And then
that doesn't surprise me.
Like he went on about all this stuff about like why don't we have flying cars yet? And then Neil deGrasse Tyson was like, he just shut him down. Like, it's not going to happen.
Well,
do you imagine if
cars?
if he makes like really good points in where we have cars now? If there's an accident, it's on the road. Odds are more people aren't going to get hurt. What happens if you have a collision with flying cars? They're going to fall. Where are they going to fall? Into buildings, into houses? That's going to make a huge fucking mess.
That's going to be... Oh, yeah. And it's also probably going to kill people, Tyler.
That too. Kill
That's
more
make
people
them,
then.
Oh, man. I just bought new tiles. I just put new tiles up, and this wheel is just falling out of the sky. I can't believe it. Oh, it did actually land on Timmy, the paper boy. But, hey, every cloud, that doesn't make sense at all. But
anyway, welcome to the Not Those Guys Again podcast.
I'm so glad you said it because I sort of forgot the name for a second.
I got it.
I don't think we've actually said the name of the podcast for a while because we usually just say, welcome back to Those Guys? Who are they?
I know, we fucking meme our own name. We never say it right.
I mean, the podcast name is almost bagel. You mean banana. So it could be worse.
Could be anything. We had a lot of names that we were sorting through until it turned into Not Those Guys Again.
We were going to go through those names, weren't we? We were going to have like a little segment where we were like, let's talk about some of the names we were going to do.
I don't even know if I have them written down anymore.
I'll scroll. You talk to the audience. I'll scroll through and have a look. See, me and Tyler don't actually talk between podcasts because we don't like each other. This is an act. We're really good actors.
Yeah, all we do is every time we come up with a sentence, we just kind of stop it and then continue on. Like, this is actually all scripted. And then
this takes 8 hours to record.
Yeah. It's all scripted. We send the script back and forth so that the betweens can get like really good and the conversation seems organic. And then we record separately, and then he sends his audio to me, and I just splice it all together.
We don't do a good job of it, though.
Yeah.
Is it like when Justin Roiland has to like record Rick and Morty, and he has to just talk to himself?
I play 6 of the main characters in this show. All I do is talk to myself in a booth all day.
The thing about Rick and Morty is that every single character sounds like Morty, apart from Rick. Like they just come across someone, and they're like, "Hey, I'm an alien," and it's just like, "No, you sound like Morty. It's the same voice." One of my favorite messages is when you were at that convention, and you just messaged me saying, "I found 2 furries."
Oh yeah.
For no reason. I like it.
Those, you know what is annoying about those furries is I'm pretty sure they were just there to wear their furry costume and loiter, because I didn't see any of them like do anything, and I saw the same one just lying down, like sitting against a wall for like 3 hours. And the only reason I know that is because I walked by, saw them there, left for a couple hours, came by, and they're in the exact same spot, which annoyingly was sitting inside of a queue for a line for lineups to start for events. They were just blocking that line so people couldn't start lines where they were supposed to when it was time.
Oh, them furries. I remember the first furry I ever met was at Comic-Con when I was younger. And I remember it was specifically, I just bought Conker Live and Reloaded for Xbox 360. What a game.
Oh.
This was the OG remaster, not the rare collection or whatever.
Yeah, too bad they fucking censored the shit out of it.
They did. It sucks, yeah. It sucks that they did that. But they... Oh, wow, I'm finding the pictures of you when you're like 12. This is amazing.
Where are you looking?
I'm looking in our Twitter DMs, and I'm surprised how much we talk. I thought we didn't like each other, Tyler.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
Yeah, but I remember I walked up to this furry, and I saw him, and he's like taking a picture with someone. And it's like the one unwritten rule of furries, from what I've heard, is that you don't take your costume off, like the furry head or anything, because it like breaks the magic. It's like being at Disneyland and you take a picture with Pluto, and Pluto just like yeets his head off and just starts walking around. He's just like a guy with a big mustache or something. That's pretty much what it was. And I was like, oh my god, what? I can't believe this. Like, I'm gonna
obviously like 90% don't follow that, because every event I've ever gone to, I always see them end up taking their mask off.
I'm gonna have to report you to the furry council.
There's a council?
They're gonna. It's actually the catzel. The catzel. They're gonna be furious with you. Yeah?
Are you sure it's catzel? I see a lot of them. Like the majority are wolves.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that.
Knockout wolf.
Yeah, or knockout idiot, as Amanda calls me. So kind, Amanda the Jedi. Yeah, can we get some of like Saw's leaders on the podcast, please, and just tell them how one of their streamers, Amanda the Jedi, is a meanie head.
She's a big meanie bully poo poo head.
So fucking mean. So I've gone to the point where you're talking about Neil. What did you say? Neil deGrasse
Tyson.
Yeah, you're talking about him. Wow, it's been like 3 months and you're still talking about him. What else have we got? So it was going to be a little Brit of Canada for a while.
Yep.
That was one.
That was the longest standing title that we had when we were talking about starting up the podcast again.
That was. This is you just looking for my Patreon for some reason. and pointing out the $200 roll, which is the realistic penis, which is captioned, "I'll draw you a realistic penis. Must be over 18. It's going to be that realistic."
Do you still have that?
I do, yeah. I just want someone to do it at some point, just so I get to draw like a really realistic penis. That'd be funny.
Can you draw though? That's the question.
I got art. I got a B in my art exam at school. I chose it as like one of my exams. So I'm okay. But
so that's not bad. We'll at least get a B-rated penis. So
a B-rated penis. Oh boy, we've gone back too far here. We've gone. I don't like this. Okay, so we basically just had some really stupid names. Oh no! Oh, here we go. A Brit of Canada. It takes a Brit of Canada. It's not,
what was with me and the Brit of Canada?
Say again?
I said, what was with me and a Brit of Canada?
Well, it was kind of clever, but at the same time, it sounded too much like Little Britain, which hasn't aged well. That show has not aged well. It's basically the most offensive thing that was allowed on TV, unfortunately. Yeah.
So you didn't want to be the most offensive thing allowed on the internet?
No, we're Christians. We're Christian mums.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
But we're a Christian mum couple. Like we're the we're actually married, Tyler, but we're like the Christians who believe in gay marriage, unlike the Christians who.
I'm confused. First we hate each other and everything's scripted. Then we talk a lot on in the Twitter DMs, and now we're married. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but what middle-aged couple don't hate each other? You know what I mean? Like once you have kids, you just start despising each other. That's sort of a well-known fact, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think.
Now let's talk about some topics. So the first topic is sad. This topic is sad. What is it, Tyler? It's been about 2 or 3 weeks since this has happened, but I think you can guess.
I don't.
Can you really not guess?
It's sad. Oh right, Stan Lee.
Stan Lee died. Jeez.
I forgot we were going to talk about this.
That is so... No. Oh, no. Oh, Tyler, it's just gotten worse.
What?
I'm just scrolling down Twitter, and Steven Hillenburg, the guy who created SpongeBob's, died.
Oh.
What?
No, that's not...
Tyler! Now is not the time to be doing impressions of fucking SpongeBob.
I tried to do the SpongeBob laugh, but it was more of like a Peter Griffin laugh.
It was. Oh no, Tyler. Oh, he was like 50 something. What? He was 57.
Oh, that's not that old.
No, ALS. Wasn't that the thing that everybody was doing the ice bucket challenge for? Like so many years ago.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Except for so many fucking stupid people
Yeah.
were donating to the wrong number and just giving some random people money because they were like, yeah, we're the ALS people.
Yeah, what they were actually doing was giving money to the annual leg syndrome.
Did you say leg or lag?
Leg.
It's just that every year they just have a convention where they just invite people in who have nice legs. And they're like, hey, okay, next up we got Ronald from Ohio. Ronald, how old are you? 27. 27. Ronald, let's see them legs. Oh. Everybody, round of applause for Ronald and his legs. Wow, thank you to the Ice Bucket Challenge. We've actually been able to hold our convention at the White House this year.
We're terrible people.
We are terrible people. I can't believe we're joking about this. Do you remember with the Ice Bucket Challenge though? There was the few where people had literally like a whole kind of garbage bin full of icy water, and they were holding it from a high up place, and they tried tipping it, but it was so heavy that they dropped it. There was several of those videos where they dropped like I don't want to think
like
how many liters.
Like the full thing of the garbage
water.
can or whatever, like on their head.
Yeah, like on the people's head. And there was a few where people like kind of took screenshots of the video, and you just see the person's neck like horizontal as it hits them. What's kind of scary about them is that you never find out what happens to them.
It's just uploaded, and it's not like broken neck
it's
or
like
dead
fucking hits you with the boom bam 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 boom bum 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 bum. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was it JoJo? I don't watch anime.
Neither do I.
If you're a weeb, get out of the 2.5 Losers podcast. That's not the name anymore. That's not the name anymore.
No, so you got it wrong again too.
No, that's so sad though. I'm really sad about it. I'm gonna retweet that. That's sad. Out of respect. Someone said F to pay respects, and instantly someone replied with the picture of SpongeBob next to the F in the fun song. Cause F is for friends that do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere, anytime at all, down here in the deep blue sea.
Oh, we gotta be quiet. They want a moment of silence.
Oh, okay. Who wants a moment of silence?
God damn it! You broke the silence.
I didn't even read. Oh god. Okay. How long's the moment?
You retweet the tweet and you don't even read it.
But you did your fucking Peter Griffin laugh, and it sort of distracted me. Jesus.
Jokes aside.
Well, unfortunately, that's so sad. That's so sad. So unfortunately, the creator of SpongeBob has passed away. But who else has passed away, Tyler?
We already said Stan Lee has passed away.
We did.
That's how it started, and then you got sidetracked by SpongeBob.
I did. Do you want to hear something? You got to kind of make light of the bad things in life. So you want to know something funny?
Sure.
Someone at work told another coworker that Stan Lee had died, Now, our old bosses had 2 dogs. One called Morris and one called Stanley.
I knew that's where that was going.
She came into work the next day saying, "Oh my God, did you know Stan Lee has died?" And he was like, "Yeah, I told you yesterday." She said, "Oh, I thought you meant Stanley the dog had died."
Oh my God.
I can't even fucking believe it. But yeah, rest in peace, rest in peace, both Steven Hillenburg and Stan Lee.
Yes.
I was gutted about Stan Lee. Like, we all saw it coming. He was an old guy.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of cameo stuff like already pre-recorded to use in like future movies and everything.
That's good. It's like in Cowchop when Trevor left, they recorded loads of green screen footage of him being like, "Wow, dude, that's crazy," and just like out of nowhere they'll just pop him into it.
Yeah.
Every time people are like, "Oh my God, Trevor's back."
It's like, nope, green screen.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of... I only watch, like, certain shows of Cowchop, and out of all the shows I do watch, he's only showed up in one of them since then. With like, the green screen, so they must put him a lot in the gaming stuff, I assume.
It's kind of every so often, like, whenever they do it, it sort of catches me off guard, but... Because I don't get to watch him that much anymore. YouTube sort of got into this thing, because I watch YouTube mostly on Xbox, because I'll be editing or just doing stuff on my laptop, and I'll have it on the side. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I will scroll through my home screen on desktop and look for my subs and things. It's just easier to do that, and then on my Xbox just go into the history tab rather than searching things up. But because I just watched it, there's this one guy I've been watching called Ant Dude, who just plays like a lot of platformers and things like that. And because I've been watching his videos, that is all that is on the home screen. Like, I want to watch people that I'm actually subscribed to other than him, but nah, it's just everything is Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Mario, and I'm like, YouTube just doesn't work properly on the Xbox.
That's I never use the home screen because it's even on the desktop it doesn't work that well.
Yeah,
home screen is just garbage. Their algorithm for it is stupid. It's just like, oh, you've watched tons of other people, but you've recently just watched this person, so flood your homepage with just that person.
Literally, you think that they'd be trying to push the other people that you watch. Like, okay, you've been watching an unhealthy amount of this channel. Why don't you try and watch some of these guys instead? But it's you just go down the rabbit hole of YouTube. That's the problem. Yeah. So hence why with a lot of YouTubers, only like 10% of their audience actually watch their videos, like on often, you know.
Yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. But talking about YouTube, a YouTuber has recently come back. Quite a controversial topic. I was talking to Tyler about it before, and I thought I would save it till now to start talking about it because I've searched their name on Twitter and I just want to show him how divided the community are on him coming back. So it's a YouTuber called Zaptie. He was in a podcast called Hot Wet Soup with Bionic Pig and Elves the Alien. Didn't
he leave because of something about him and an underage girl or something?
Yeah. So initially there was a podcast episode they did with I'm Alex instead of Zaptie because Zaptie had sort of gone off on one. He'd been lying to people. He'd been cheating on girls, and they found out about that. He'd just been he just hadn't been with it. And he basically told Alex that he'd been diagnosed as a sociopath. So this was way before all the Jake Paul shit, the whole
way before Shane Dawson made sociopath a household disease that everybody has.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, about two of your friends will definitely be a sociopath. So everybody in the next day is like, oh my God, someone in this room is a sociopath, and it might be me. And yeah, so people didn't really understand at the time. But they were saying things like there was a conversation when they found out that a girl that Zaptie had been talking to had had tried to kill themselves or something like that. And he just wasn't really empathetic or anything at all. He was like, well, that's good. It's good she didn't do it. And they were all like, what? And then he was like, yeah, I went to the therapist and the doctor, and they were like, diagnosed me with being a sociopath. Blah, blah, blah. And they did this whole episode about it, talking about all the things he'd done. And apparently the reason they made the episode of Hot Wet Soup, which is called The End, by the way, because they were like, right, fuck, we're ending this podcast. Was because they didn't want because the information was sort of slowly coming out to people, and they didn't want anybody to do it with malintent. So they didn't want someone to make like exposing Zaptie whilst this information wasn't sort of publicly known. It wasn't until a few months later, so I think this was late 2016, something like that, and then early 2017 or mid 2017, wherever it was, there was some leaked messages with Zaptie, who was talking to a 16-year-old, who, if you're from the UK, age of consent 16, and in most of America, I think it's 18, but in some states, including the state that Zaptie was from, age of consent was 16. Oh, that's what I know anyway. And he was 20, and he was talking to this girl, and she was sending him lewd images of herself. And he was like, oh, fuck, yeah, I can't wait to fuck you. And she's like, yeah, I want you to fuck me too. And it just got a little bit weird.
Jesus Christ.
It wasn't like he was preying on her, because she was kind of, it's a one, kind of, stuff like that's a one-way street when you're like preying on people, but she was, whatever. Because she was sending him stuff and she's under the age of 18, technically it's child porn. And but like it's not just him in the wrong, like she's in the wrong for sending it as well, so it's illegal. And it found out, but like he knew that he was doing something wrong, because one of the messages was something like, fuck, I'd go to jail for you, LMAO,
Jesus
or something
Christ.
like that. Yeah, which is pretty fucked. And so people because at first people were a little bit undecided on the whole situation, and that came out and they were like, yeah, fuck, this is weird. A few months later, there was rumors going around that the girl wasn't 16 and that she was even younger. And he basically found out, and he was like, made this big post saying, I found out through, it was like a really dodgy rumor. It was like he heard it from someone who heard it from someone else like 5 times over, basically. And so he said he doesn't know how legitimate it was, but he said he spent the night throwing up and things, and he was like, right, I'm purging like my whole channel, and he like privated all the videos, things like that. He's like, I'm off, I'm not coming back, see you later. And that was basically it. So people were like, okay, I guess that's the end of Zaptie. A few days ago, out of nowhere, he uploaded a video about the Halloween horror movie series, where he talks about all the films over the last 40 years, and just didn't address his comeback at all. Apart from right at the end, he says something about how often movie franchises are rebooted if the other one does shit, and he compared it, saying something like, it's almost as bad as a YouTuber coming back and splitting their comeback video into 2 parts, and then it just ends like that. Which is kind of him. That's him all over, because he was quite a funny guy. It's a shame that all this shit happened, because he was a good YouTuber, but like, it's sort of like, supporting him's kind of weird, especially if he hasn't, he needs to sort of, I'm making a video on it right now, whether or not I'll actually kind of release it, whatever, I don't know. But I think that he needs to make an effort to kind of show why he should be accepted back into community, or at least being able to make videos, because everyone makes mistakes and shit. But he needs to show that he's changed and he's bettered himself from it.
Yeah, otherwise it's just the same shit again, and if it's going on again, or if that same thing's going to happen. So he's probably not going to have as many followers as he first did. There's probably going to be a huge chunk that aren't going to want to watch his stuff after that.
Yeah, the video got like 75% likes, which I'm surprised it got that many likes. Like, it got 25% dislikes. A lot of people on Twitter kind of being like, I don't know if he should come back or not. So, I'm going to read out. I typed in Zaptie into Twitter. This is from November 23rd, so yeah, 4 days ago. I'm going to read out the responses to him coming back. So, it's... First one is, I seriously can't relate with y'all who want Zaptie back. The next one is, holy fuck, Zaptie is back. Straight away, you're like, okay. People are divided. Someone said, I hate that Zaptie is actually back. I really hate him. He's so gross. He doesn't deserve to be welcomed back. If you don't remember Zaptie, then you're only allowed to order off the kids' menu. This is all caps. With someone with a dog filter in their in their profile picture, by the way. Holy fucking shit, Zaptie is back. What the fuck? Is this real life? This is literally the best day in human history.
That sounds exactly like somebody who would do a dog filter picture.
Yeah, and someone replied saying, "Isn't he a kid diddler?" Oh, jeez. And then, "Isn't Zaptie a nonce?" Jeez. Okay. Someone said, "Leafy and now Zaptie, the year of the return."
Did Leafy come back?
Leafy did an interview with Keemstar, basically saying, "Yeah, I've just been spending my time investing in Bitcoin."
We're
He's
fucking
like,
idiot.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm probably not going to come back." I mean, he's rich as fuck, and
Yeah.
yeah.
He made enough off of the stupid videos before the adpocalypse happened, so he's fucking.
Oh, for real, yeah.
He's swimming in it.
That shit. Yeah, he's doing so well. If you guys like Zaptie back in the community, I swear to fucking God, or fucking swear to God even. Why is everyone happy about Zaptie coming back? What he did was pretty fucked, and people saying, "Oh, it's been like 2 years," isn't an excuse. It's literally just confuses the hell out of me why people accept a pedo back. Why are people welcoming back Zaptie like he's a fucking family member that came back from vacation? This comment in particular surprised me. What Zaptie did was not just some tomfoolery. What he did was less pathetic. It was disgusting. It's basically a picture of a comment that Turkey Tom left on the video. So Turkey Tom's this sort of up-and-coming commentary channel. He gets quite a bit of dislikes on some of his videos, so he's kind of a controversial kind of person in the thingy, I guess. But he's kind of good at what he does. He's people first pretty much heard of him because Keemstar made a Twitter video on him saying, "Who the fuck is Turkey Tom?" and why isn't he a turkey or some shit? And yeah, it's just stupid. Okay, let me read out this comment from Turkey Tom. So Turkey Tom commented on the video saying, "Best mate Zaptie, thank you for coming back. Can't describe how much you inspired my content. Just don't get up to all that tomfoolery again, and I'm sure things will work out well for you here." Yeah, I know there's a lot of people. Yeah, he found the video and the tweet, and basically just argue with people, and he's like, the next day he was like, maybe I shouldn't have been so welcoming to him. Zaptie is back. Fuck you, I'm not crying. So someone likes him. I'm assuming this is why people are pissed. I also assume this person's underage and Zaptie's a total prick. What the? But there's no photo or like link. Just what? Oh no! Someone said, "Who's Zaptie?" And they said, "Just learning about him now, but he's a YouTuber with 600k subs." No, what? No, he's got like 70,000, not 600,000. Hell. Jesus.
How do you fuck that up?
I don't
know how numbers work.
No, but as you can see, there's like a big divide in people.
That's the way YouTube be now.
Yeah, so I just wanted to read them out and just see. I'm making a video on it, like I said, and to kind of cut the story short, what he did was pretty fucked up, and I don't think he should just be welcomed with like open arms into the community or anything. But I don't like the idea that once someone fucks up like that, especially because 20 is like still a young age.
Yeah.
Like I know you're not a teenager anymore, but like you've just sort of become an adult, and it's easy to sort of fuck up. And I think because there's that mentality as well that. Because I don't feel like I'm suddenly just this adult out of nowhere just because I'm turning 20 in like a week. In fact, like I don't know where the last like 5 years have gone from me being like 15. It's just really weird that like I'm not just like a teenager anymore, and I think it's sort of easy to kind of forget that. So especially when it comes with like 16-year-old, yeah. Being 20 and talking to them isn't great. It's not a great idea. But I don't think that they can just kind of cancel him out of everything forever. It's like with some musicians. I think some musicians fuck up so bad that they shouldn't be allowed to make music and things anymore. But recently, a band called Mississippi's drummer was found out to be like emotionally abusive and things like to in relationships, or at least he had been. And so instead of being like, "Get out of our band, you're not allowed in this community anymore," like they do with a lot of people, they were like, "Okay, I want you to take a year out from music." This is like the singer of Mississippi. They were like, "Yeah, I want you to take a year out of music, kind of better yourself, and hopefully come back and be good," because it just doesn't. There's no progress in just kicking people out of communities for doing something like that, because they'll either do it again because at that point they're like, well, fuck, my life's pretty like, everybody in that community hates me and shit. Doesn't really matter. Or they could actually work on themselves. You know what I mean?
It's either give the person time to work on themselves when they're ready to come back. If they are better, welcome them back. Otherwise, keep them on the curb.
Yeah. So I think he deserves to at the very least make an effort to show that he's bettered himself, or at least try and, I don't know, just try and redeem himself at least a little bit. I don't think he should understand. I don't think he should just gain the respect again or anything like that. But to cast him out forever and be like, fuck you, no, you're not allowed on the internet ever again. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of mad.
Yeah. But I mean,
especially because he admitted to it all. Like he made a post when he found out that the girl he'd been talking to was even younger than 16. He made a post like, yeah, I found this shit out and it's fucked up and I shouldn't have done it. Like, but I didn't know. But I am leaving the community because it's fucked up. It's like,
Yeah. But I mean, like, you can't stop somebody from making content just because you don't like them. They can do whatever they want. He could have just not left at all and saw what would have happened with his community at that point.
For real, yeah. There's a musician called Front Porch Step, and he pretty much did the same thing, but he was a lot more creepy, and he sent like nudes of himself. But like in the Zaptie case, he was just receiving stuff of someone.
Yeah.
But he was sending shit to people. This guy, to underage people and harassing people, and he just. Like, people basically cast him out of the music scene, and he came back with an album like, oh, I'm a born again Christian. That doesn't work. That shit doesn't.
But see, there's also a difference between. I'm not going on Zaptie's like side, but there's a difference between harassing people and them telling you to stop, but you keep doing it, to where the other person is going along with it as well. Yeah,
definitely, because. She was, I wouldn't say egging him on because I haven't seen all the messages, but that conversation had two people kind of sexting, not just one person being.
It's wrong on either end.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not like, all towards one person.
Yeah, he admitted in one of his things. He's like, yeah, I used my power like on my platform to kind of to meet up with girls. He was, but the girls he met up with were 18,
Yeah.
But. So he admitted to it all, because I know there's some people it happens and they're just like, no, I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it. It's crazy. Anyway, this has gotten a little bit dark.
A little bit. A little bit dark.
Bit. Not those guys again. More like, not that guy again. And then like a big hand comes out and points at Zaptie. not him.
He's the one and only loser.
Oh, is that a reference to? What's that? A reference to 2.5 Losers podcast?
Yeah,
just absolutely incredible. I think that's still on iTunes. Like, I think a couple episodes are still on iTunes.
Yeah, all the stuff for at least this one ain't going on iTunes anymore until we figure that
that's
stuff
the thing.
out.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll have to listen on
on
YouTube.
The YouTubes.
Yeah. Because we can't afford to pay as much as we'd have to pay. And
because of that, we can keep putting stuff on, but it's the last 2 episodes, and that's all that will ever fit.
Yeah. And unless it gets to the point where people are like, take my money.
Yeah.
And we can afford to pay for it, because it's expensive, especially when you're only getting...
Well, and it's more expensive than when we did 2.5 Losers, because you were able to do it before.
Yeah.
And we had no issue, but then they must have changed how it worked, because now it's like $20 a month or something like that to get unlimited upload time.
It's insane, isn't it? Like, we cannot pay $20 for 2 episodes a month just to get, like, 15 to 20 views or whatever.
Yeah.
So we may as well keep it on YouTube. Apparently, talking about deaths, the one of those guy has died in his sleep at 31.
Oh, that sucks.
Shit.
What's with all the death we're talking about on this episode? We're just coming back.
Like when I was like 14 and I had that friend who was obsessed with Illuminati conspiracies, like, and he said, yeah, the New World Order is going to kill us all and we're all going to die in the next like 3 months. Has it only just come into fruition now?
Maybe
it has. Wow. I like how it says he's an internet comedian, but what he did was just go up to a police officer and go, "What are those?" And yeah.
It was a bad meme. It wasn't funny.
Oh no.
What I hated the most was there was I think Marvel had made a compilation of like making you laugh for 10 years or something like that, and they put in the stupid fucking "what are those" jokes from Black Panther. When I was in the theater, everybody fucking cringed at that point. Nobody laughed at that joke.
No, I let out an audible when we saw it. Fuck, he was a father of 9. Holy shit.
Jesus Christ. How do you have that many kids?
I don't know. You've got to have some pretty...
His poor wife.
Energies, they say. She is being destroyed. Jeez. Oh my god. Someone says nothing of value was lost.
Jesus Christ.
People are... Oh my god. Keyboard warriors.
The internet is savage as fuck, man.
You mean they're sociopaths? Because sociopaths are just more savage.
Oh, they're definitely sociopaths then.
Yeah.
100%.
So we got a couple game things to talk about. It's been the last episode was Halloween episode, wasn't it? So since then, Red Dead's probably come out since we recorded it at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Dead. So Red Dead, have you played it? You haven't played it yet, have you, Tyler?
I don't play games anymore, remember?
Tyler doesn't play games anymore. Tyler, if you're gonna come out of retirement for any games, fucking play Red Dead. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
That one's a prequel too, right? So I don't have to play the first one?
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Sweet. I can play that one, and then I can go back in time to worse graphics and good story.
But have you not played the first one?
No, I never played it.
It honestly, it's like, it's probably good that you haven't played the first one, because there's characters in the second one where you're like, why aren't they in the first one? And it's kind of like, oh yeah, it's probably because they're going to die in this one. So I guess the less you know about Red Dead 1, the better.
It's good to know.
Yeah, it's good to know. No, but it's really good. I haven't had that much of a chance to play it. I mean, honestly, I've had a chance to play games the last couple of weeks because I've been playing a fuck ton of Spyro 3. Because the remaster has come out and it has blown the Crash Bandicoot remaster out of the water. Get out of here, Crash Bandicoot. The friggin' Spyro the Dragon is here, okay?
I mean, out of both Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, I feel that Spyro definitely has the bigger fan base.
Yeah, I think Spyro was better. I mean, like, Crash
there's
is
another
fun,
one that's going to be coming out, which I feel is more of like more of a cult following. Is Medieval is getting a remastered as well.
Is that like the kind of top-down one?
It's not top down. It's still it's like it's third person, but you play a dead soldier, an undead dude. It's a skeleton stuff. I played it. I played it when I was a kid, but I didn't know how to play games back then, so I never finished them. So I never got very far in it. But I would like to play the remaster of it.
Is that going to be the point where it's like you're getting nostalgic from the first few levels?
Yeah,
and then it gets to the point you're like, oh, this is so... Actually, I don't really recognize this.
It's pretty much what it'd be like. I remember the first hour of this game. Now everything else is new to me.
What's funny about Spyro 3, because I played it so much when I was younger, it's one of my favorite games. I remember the hub worlds really well. Like, I have like such nostalgia for... Because I got to this one that I loved a couple of days ago, and I remember I was like, yeah, if you go up this tower you can find stuff, and I remember jumping over here with the invincibility power, and then I go into the levels and I'm like, what is this? I don't remember this. Even though like I finished the whole game because I remember playing the boss fight. Like, it was one of the only games as a child that I actually remember finishing. But yeah, it's just weird because I was really nostalgic for the first few levels, and then I'm like getting to the point like I don't really remember this anymore.
See, that'll be the way with me when I finally get Spyro Reignited. I'm going to do the same thing with the first one because I never finished it, but I'll remember like the first part of the game, and then after that it's going to be, my nostalgia's gone. Now it's all new.
I played the first one at my sister's house because she bought a PS3 for her fiance and so he could play Spyro. And so I played the first one at her house. And I didn't feel nostalgia from it at all. Like I the sounds and stuff like that, I was like, yeah, this brings back memories. But this is just mostly memories of Spyro 3. Like
Right.
the first one's just mostly, it's pretty basic. There's not a whole lot to it compared to the second and the third ones. But I've got to say though, because I got a 32-inch TV, but it's one of those ones which are sort of HD but sort of standard at the same time. So it's a nice big TV. At least for my desk, but it's not crisp.
Right.
And even Spyro looks incredible on it. It's just, it looks incredible. I just can't get over how nice it is. But Tyler, you have to get it. It's so nice. It's just
I'll
so
get it
goddamn
eventually.
nice.
I'm going to wait for it to go down in price first.
I've already seen it down at like £25 when it came out at like 35. So it's going down already, which is nice.
You know what else has been dropping very quickly in price?
I think I know what you're going to say.
Fallout 76.
Oh, yeah. 76% off, baby.
So since Fallout 76 came out, I keep seeing a bunch of articles pop up of it dropping price over and over again because of how bad and glitchy and unfinished it is. And it's
insane.
Pretty ridiculous. I remember watching a video of someone playing the beta where they're running around, there's not anything to do, there's no NPCs in the game other than wandering robots. So like, where the fuck are you even getting your quests from? Anybody you see is just other players. But
That's
then
mad.
a lot of the times the enemies are getting stuck in their T-pose, so they're just sliding towards you. And there was that weird glitch where when you go into power armor, it glitches you into like the power armor doesn't show up and you're in the T-pose and you're in your underwear.
Oh, it just
So
sounds
many
like...
glitches, and those were all from the beta, and I haven't heard anything has changed since the beta. So it's like a pre-alpha. Like how do you release that?
It just there was literally 1 week between the beta and the release, and some of my friends were getting really salty because I was like, yeah, but it's broken to shit. And they're like, oh, shut up. You're just salty because you can't afford it. I was like, no, I can buy it if I want to. Like, if I really wanted to get it, I'd get it. But I'm not getting it because it's awful. And they're like, no, it's not. They're like, it's only the beta. I was like, yeah, but how much fixing do you think they're going to do in a week?
None.
It's literally out, like you said, like almost pre-alpha.
Yeah.
It's mad. It's a little bit like Pro Skater 5. How bad they did with that.
Where
Like,
they released the demo and then later on you could download the game when it was finished.
Yeah, it was just a demo on the disc. It's mad, isn't it? And I mean, you could say that you had issues from day one with the beta of Fallout when if you updated it on the installer, it would delete the game.
What?
Literally, people were spending like a whole day downloading it. They'd do something and it'd delete the game. But the whole thing with not being able to get quests off of people, NPCs, it's just like Pro Skater 5. They just, and like in Pro Skater 4, there was so much character to the game, and 3 as well. Like the one, like that's on PS1, but on PS2, Pro Skater 4, there was characters, NPCs everywhere, like and wacky adventures, things like that. But in this, there was just icons, like floating icons. You go up to it and it's like burst all these balloons in 1 minute. And you're like, are you shitting me? It was just so embarrassing.
Yeah, from what I saw, with all they have for missions in Fallout 76 is you go defend a point from waves of enemies. Basically, that's it. You find a point, you build up your bases, and then it almost sounds like the Survive, Save the World Fortnite, where you just you build up a base and you defend it from waves of zombies.
Yeah.
I think PC had the worst, and that's why.
That's why Fortnite just like struggled so much at first, because it came out as just this really basic zombie survival game, and then they were like, oh yeah, it's a free battle royale game mode, and people were like, I guess we'll try it out, and it just suddenly blew up.
Yeah. Yeah, with 76, I think from what I've read, PC had the worst with bugs because apparently sometimes it would delete 50 gigabytes of game data.
Oh.
And there was a glitch where players would become invincible.
Classic.
And then another huge thing was it wasn't being put on Steam, to which Bethesda was saying they were only putting it on their launcher so they could better serve their customers rather than it being on Steam.
But what they really mean is, haha, you can't refund our game.
Yeah, so apparently once you download and install the game, it can't be refunded. And a lot of people were trying to refund the game because of how broken it was, but they couldn't. Yeah. And I almost feel like they knew something like this was going to happen, so didn't put it on Steam so that people can't return it, because people would have bought it on Steam, played it for an hour, and went, yeah, I'm returning this.
Spyro was meant to come out in September, and it came out in November instead. Like when you got a delay, like a platformer, which I mean it looks really good, but let's be honest, it's not got the graphics of a Fallout game,
right?
But when you push it back 2 months. I mean, I know they sort of had that leeway with Christmas and things like that, because like if they push back Fallout 76, like even a month, it'd be like way too close to Christmas to some people.
Yeah.
But you just gotta say, like, if Spyro is gonna fucking be delayed for 2 months, just think, like, I can't believe Fallout just didn't. I don't get it.
I hate the mentality with lots of publishers now where everything is so perfectly connected through internet that you can release patches that automatically install. So they just release unfinished games because, oh, well, it'll be in the next patch.
Yeah. Everybody's like, yeah, day one patch. Just wait for the day one patch.
Yeah,
it's like, I shouldn't have to wait for the day one
also,
patch.
There's not going to be a day one patch that fixes much when it's only a week till release.
Oh, God, yeah, for real. It's like...
How do you release a beta a week before it's out? Like, wow.
Man. It's ridiculous. But with the whole refund thing, I don't know if you know, there was this one YouTuber who got that... Because is it like 20 hours of gameplay and you can refund it?
On what, on Steam?
On Steam, like 20 hours is the maximum.
It's 2 hours of game time.
Oh, 2 hours? Really?
Yeah.
I think maybe it used to be longer or something. Because
unless they've recently changed it.
They might have changed it because of it, but this guy literally played the entirety of Sonic Forces, that new Sonic game which came out last year, and like on Steam, or maybe earlier this year, and then just refunded it at the end of the playthrough because he completed it and he was like, yeah, that was pretty trash. He got a lot of flack for it though.
I did the same thing once on stream.
What game is it?
The Fidelio Effect, I think it was called. It was a walking simulator. Though it had like a really good story, I finished it in like an hour, so I was like, I'm never gonna play this again. I don't really care to keep it.
You could just do that. That's the problem. It's so easy to do that, especially with games which are like, Story About My Uncle.
Yeah.
That game, like you could do that, like because that game literally you finish it in like. Well, I know it's 2 hours now, but if you were good at it, you could probably finish it in like less than 2 hours.
Yeah, I finished that one pretty quick, but I kept it because it's pretty good. The Fidelio Effect had no, there's no replay value to that one. It's you play it and you're done. Like you're not going to see anything different if you play it again.
Yeah, like I think the thing which is replayable about Story About My Uncle is how, because. There was a story to it, but it was so loose because it was literally just platforming, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was sort of fun. So they had time trials, so you could, see how... I got a lot of playability out of the time trials. And towards the end of the game, it gets pretty hard. So being able to master that is fun. It's sort of like surfing on CSGO. It's like some of the maps are so hard, but when you actually start mastering it, it's so fun doing it.
Yeah. Like that time that I got really into surfing. And then I just stopped. It was nothing but surfing on this one map, and I kept... What was I doing? I think like every time I beat my record, I donated to someone or something.
Jeez. So, IGN give overwhelmingly positive reviews to things.
Yeah.
Well, I've just seen their review of the PlayStation Classic. And the title is "A Disappointing List of Game Holds the PlayStation Classic Back."
Oh, no.
So it's actually quite surprising that they're being negative about something.
Clearly, they weren't paid off to make a good review this time.
Yeah. Oh, wow. 5.5 out of 10. Shit.
Because, I mean, like, I would say the same thing about the NES Classic and the SNES Classic. Out of everything that's on there, there's like 2 games that I like and that I'd want to play.
I'll be honest, my list of PlayStation 1 games that I played wasn't big. Like, I had a PlayStation 1 for a good few years when I was young. Like, I played Spyro on it, Crash Bandicoot, also Spyro, and also Crash Bandicoot. Like, I didn't play like a whole load of games on it, unfortunately. But so I don't recognize a lot of these, but there's Battle Arena Toshinden, don't know that. Call Borders 2, don't know that. Destruction Derby, I know of it, I never played it. Final Fantasy.
So, like, Destruction Derby, I played a lot.
I think I played it on PS2. There was like a remake, or at least another version of it, which was fun. I'm seeing gameplay of it, and it looks pretty good. But so there's Final Fantasy, obviously, pretty classic in some people's eyes. The first GTA, which I don't think a whole lot of people actually played, did they?
No,
like,
I don't think a lot of people
started.
Like, I think a lot of people started with GTA 3 because that's when
definitely.
it first came into like third person, like whole 3D, not top down.
Definitely. Intelligent Cube, I don't know that one. Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, obviously a classic. Mr. Driller, not sure about that. Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. I never played it, but I do know of it. Rayman, obviously. Resident Evil. The Resident Evil games were good for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Although they were just sort of like corridors with the occasional zombie in them. Revelations Persona, don't know. Ridge Racer Type 4, I know of it. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
Oh,
seems
shit.
like a stupidly long name.
It's a Street Fighter puzzle game. Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's put a
Siphon
fucking
Filter.
puzzle game on a... Why?
I don't get it. Tekken 3. Oh, hell yeah.
I played that one a lot.
Yeah. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
The very first
Twisted
one.
Metal and Wild Arms.
Twisted Metal was a decent one. Siphon Filter, I played that a lot. But I literally have a PS1 and Siphon Filter. So if I want to play it, I don't have to buy a classic.
Yeah, definitely not. I haven't watched the video because I think the audio would put me off.
Yeah.
But by the looks of it, from the little preview window, they're having trouble connecting the controllers.
Oof.
Which sort of sucks.
It's controller's kind of important to a console.
Yeah. It says the graphics of these games simply haven't aged well, particularly when you stack up their low polygon characters, textures, and environments against the ultra detailed high definition game worlds of today.
It's fair. Like, I don't know why you would make a classic version of a console where it was just getting into 3D. Like, there are still some good-looking games from then, but there's a lot of really shit-looking 3D games.
Yeah, I feel like a PS2 version of this would do so much better.
Yeah.
So
and
much
even
better,
like I like Oddworld, but you know what?
Yeah.
I can get it on Steam for like $1.
Yeah. So I just Googled PS1 games. And so they completely missed the Crash Bandicoot thing. I mean, I know obviously there was the remakes recently, but people might want to play the old ones.
Yeah.
So there's Metal Gear Solid, they got that. Final Fantasy, they got that. Tekken 3, they got that. So that's pretty much the 3 popular games they got. Crash Team Racing, that's a pretty good one to be honest. Spyro, they missed all the Spyro games. What else have we got? Tarzan, did you ever play Tarzan?
No.
That was good. Silent Hill, the first one.
See,
wow.
That should have been on there. Silent Hill is fucking great.
Oh, and Gran Turismo too. I'm surprised there's no Gran Turismo games on there. That's weird. That's sort of weird.
I can kind of see why they would leave something like Silent Hill off of here, though. Because they're clearly going to try and market it towards kids as well, and they don't want... I guess, well, not even really, because they put Resident Evil on there.
Yeah.
So why can't Silent Hill be on there?
Parappa the Rapper. Oh no. Played that with my friends like last year, and we were like, oh fuck me. What else we got? Tomb Raider? Yeah, the original Tomb Raiders. They didn't put any of them on there. That's weird. Oh, sorry,
It could also come down to like licensing as well.
Yeah, I guess it's like I tried to buy some. Well, first of all, I was trying to play the Guitar Hero game on my iPhone, and I wanted to buy more songs on it because it's so fun, just like being in the car and being able to play Guitar Hero. Like, it was a pretty fun game, but you literally can't play. You can't buy any songs for it. You have to play like the 6 songs that come with the app because they don't have the licensings to sell the DLC packs anymore. And it's the same on the old 360 games. So like I went on because I was playing quite a lot of Guitar Hero 3 and I wanted to get the Paramore pack, and they've literally taken every single DLC pack off there unless you've already bought it, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
Oh, Tony Hawk games? Not a single Tony Hawk game on there, but I know Activision have lost the rights.
Yeah, that's the only problem with like the classic stuff is like it comes down to the licensing. Like obviously Final Fantasy is still on PlayStation, so they can put the old one on there. And
yeah.
A lot of companies that go defunct and then the licensing just goes fucking either disappears, nobody has it, or some company has it that Sony can't take it from.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any other games. Now, whilst I'm having a look, Tyler, I completely forgot. You're probably the best person I know to ask about this. There was a game I played on PS1 when I was quite young, and I made a Reddit post about it. Had some people trying to help me, and they unfortunately couldn't find it. Oh, Medal of Honor 1. That would have been a good one. That actually kind of holds up still, the first one. Anyway, the game, you were like a kid in a haunted house, like haunted mansion, I guess. I can't remember much about it, but what I do remember is in the first mission, you go into this. Like, I think to go to the different missions, you went through doorways in the house, and in the first one you did, because like all the doors were locked, so there's just this one door, and it took you to sort of like a cave with like iron bars in. And there were these spiders with red bits on their body. And that's literally all I can remember. I sort of hope that someone listening to this knows what I'm talking about. Yes, it's been driving me crazy trying to think of it. It's like, I just keep remembering it like every so often.
Is it just called Haunted House?
I don't know. Have you found a game called Haunted House?
Yeah.
Ah, why did I not think of that?
PS1 Haunted House.
PS1. Let's have a look. PS1. Haunted house game.
There's like a rollerblading haunted house game.
What the shit?
What the fuck? It's rollerblading.
I'm gonna be real pissed if... Well, I'm not gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be kind of happy that I found it, but I'm gonna be pissed if I didn't think.
Maybe the Haunted Mansion? No, that's PS2.
Oh no, this game looks cool. Wow, you literally just go around like a haunted house and... Or maybe this is just a level on the game called 3 Extreme.
It could be.
Wow, you get your miles per hour and everything. This is cool. This is really cool. Wow, this is like it's like Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. Yeah, there's a game called Haunted Mansion.
I found one called Rascal.
Rascal?
Some kid.
Rascal.
And it looks like he's in a haunted house. He's in some sort of mansion.
Oh, that sounds similar.
He's got something that looks like the ray gun from Call of Duty Zombies.
Tyler, I think this is it. Oh, I recognize this game. Oh, Tyler, you may have actually brought back my childhood nightmares. Oh my god. This is insane.
I'm trying to see like red spider things you were talking about.
Yeah.
I see like Huh. Yeah, I've never played this one.
Oh no, this is it.
Is it?
Tyler, this is it.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, because the intro is really freaky. Jeez, right. If anybody look up Rascal for PS1, it came out in 1998, the year I was born, and it's kind of freaky. This game is like you're this kid, yeah, you're just running through this like hallway, and suddenly these like red lights are flashing, and it's like a scientist, and he looks really friggin' weird. All these characters, all these enemies look like they're from different games. The design of this game is it's just this like guy in a turban with like tentacles and a ray gun. Oh my god, I can't believe we found it. Even the music as well.
So this is it.
Insane. This is insane. This is so weird. I can't believe you found this for me, Tyler. After
You're
all these
welcome.
years, I would play it and be like, oh, so nostalgic, but I literally could only play the first mission because I got stuck and it used to scare the shit out of me.
You know what else isn't on the PlayStation Classic?
What's that?
Toy Story.
No, I love the Toy Story game.
I fucking love that game too.
Oh shit, that was such a good game.
Why the fuck is that not on the PlayStation Classic?
Literally, that's insane. Oh no. The little spider
That's
things are
literally the
gonna come.
fucking ray gun from Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah, but Tyler, I think this game came out like a good 10 years before that.
That's what I'm saying. They stole it from Rascal.
They stole it. They stole it from Rascal, a cult classic apparently. There it is. Oh fuck, there are the spiders. No, I can't watch this. Fuck no, I can't do.
What you could say
This
is
is triggering me.
you could say that Treyarch was being a little rascally.
Oh, Tyler. Oh, you, Tyler. Wow, classic. No, I think it's getting to the point where we should probably wrap this shit up. It's been going on for a while. We just sort of been talking about weird shit.
Yeah.
By that I mean I'm gonna go disappear and find a copy of Rascal online. I don't even know why we had it.
Just because. Why isn't the Little Rascals? That wasn't on PSX either. On the PlayStation Classic. It's a Little Rascals game.
What is that? What?
The Little Rascals?
The Rascals?
Oh, right.
Wow. Someone just said I never got past first level of this game. Neither did I. Well, a lot of people are just like, this game is awful.
I mean, it looks like it's got one of those camera issues where the camera does what it wants, so it's hard to do what you want to do.
Yeah, one of the good things that Spyro's done with the remake is made it so you can actually control the camera.
Yeah, that's always good to be able to control the camera.
Pure
I remember
bliss.
that being an annoyance when I played the original.
No, definitely.
I think there's one more thing that I want to bring up.
What were you gonna say?
Before we end, about the little old game that I'm making currently.
Oh yeah, you told me about this in my stream chat, and I'm like, how can you only just tell me about this in my stream chat? I mean, yeah, hit me, Tyler.
So this was something I started apparently in 2014.
Oh.
And I completely stopped working on it. It was something I started during work, where I had no projects. I was just on the bench waiting for a project for me to go on. So I started making this little text-based RPG.
Mm-hmm.
And it started all as just as a console, like a command prompt type game where you just type in to go and attack enemies, and it was very bad. And then eventually I was doing it in C++, and C++ can't do Windows interfaces. If you want to do like actual graphics or anything like that, you have to download a library and do that. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend time doing that. Yeah. So what I did was I installed Qt, which I used in college, which is based on C++, but you're able to make Windows window interfaces and graphical user interfaces and things. So
Yeah.
I turned it into that. It's turning out a lot better. I had it set to where before you went from like level 1 to 35. Level 15, you fought a boss, and at level 35, you fought the final boss, and then you won. So
Wow.
time passes, I stopped, and then my hard drive started dying that it was on, and I was like, oh shit, I got to get this stuff off so I don't lose it. So I went to move stuff off, but the hard drive was dying and it wasn't coming on. Then suddenly, after a week of it being dead, it decided to poof, the hard drive came back alive, and I was like, oh shit,
yeah.
I gotta move stuff. So I started moving all my stuff over, and long story short, I could never remember if I actually brought over the same thing, because whenever I looked through my files, I was like, no, that's the old way without the interface. And then
sucks.
I finally started looking through it, and I actually found it. I did save the proper one.
Hell yeah. And when do I get to play it?
There is a stable version out
Ooh.
if you want to play it. I've made a lot of changes since what it was 4 years ago. It's down to the stable version right now that can actually be played to the end is levels 1 to 15. You play through to the first boss and then it's done. But even now, since that stable version, I've changed it a lot to where it's not stable right now. It's playable, but you're not gonna get anywhere playing it.
Right, okay.
I've started working on the storyline, like the quests and everything. And I need to do like a big. What I've been doing all day at work instead of doing work was I was working on figuring out how I'm gonna crunch the stats down.
Good old Tyler. On company money.
I was figuring out how to crunch the numbers down, because the way leveling worked was with the stable version, it just gets so ridiculous trying to level up, because you start at, it takes 100 XP to get to level 2, and then every level it times that amount by 2, so it keeps going up. So timesing it by 2 for so long, it gets to such a ridiculous number that I'm gonna have to start giving out like 1,000,000 XP for a fucking kill if you want to level up.
Yeah, maybe that's too extreme.
Yeah, so I crunched it down. It's gonna be levels 1 to 20. You start off, it takes 500. This is just what I came up with today. It takes 500 XP to get to the second level, and then it times that by 1.5 each time. So it's I'm trying to think of a word. It levels up the way the levels go up is a lot better now, so it's not going to ridiculous numbers. Like, to get to the final level, it's 800,000. To get to level 20, it's 800,000, I think, experience, which isn't too bad considering how I had it set up before. It was
to about 8 million?
Something like that. It was, to get to level 15, it was 1.6 million.
Wow. That's not that hard.
So it was getting to the point where I was having to give so much XP just to get to level 15, which is the stable version, and the numbers get.
I would have just left it at that and then given it to IGN, because you get loads. You would have gotten loads of free publicity by them saying, "Oh my god, it's like Dark Souls."
It's Dark Souls of click-based adventures.
Yeah, jeez.
So there's not really any graphics right now. It's just you click buttons and things happen. But the only time I'm ever going to do anything with it to where there's actual graphics is if I can get a friend who's graphically inclined to do stuff for free, because I can't afford to pay an artist to do what I want.
No, it's probably going to be expensive.
At the end of the day, it's still going to be a click-based thing. Like, there's not going to be any walking a character around. You're just going to be clicking to where you want to go. But I will be adding eventually different attacks and everything. Like, right now, it's just you have one basic attack, and then when you get to a certain level, you get a special attack where every 3 successful hits, you do your special attack, and it's 3 times your max amount of damage.
Oof! Wow, number based.
But yeah, I was almost thinking of making. I don't know if I'm actually gonna do it or might just do it in mine. But I was thinking of making just a little Discord channel for people who are interested.
Yeah.
Where I can kind of put out updates and when new stable versions are out that you can play.
Now, Tyler, I've got to say, if you are going to be releasing this, I mean, I'm your friend. I have faith in you that it's going to be good. But I would make your own launcher for it. So if people start playing it and they don't like it, they can't refund it. That's where the money's at.
That's a good idea. I'll remember that.
I mean, like, would you say it's pretty unfinished right now? Like, it's in very, very early stages, right?
Yeah, well, the version I'm calling it right now that's stable is version 0.1.3.
Okay, cool. So we'll make the beta next week and then launch like a week after that, maybe.
Yeah, and by stable, I mean there are still some bugs, but you can get to the end of the game. And then once you beat the last boss, you can just keep fighting the last boss forever, as long as you want, and keep leveling up.
Wow, the replay value there. it's like cookie clicker. What was that?
Yes.
Where you just click the cookies? Wow,
yep.
Crazy.
Well, cookie clicker gets to the point where you don't even have to click the cookie anymore, and it just does it all for you.
Yeah, literally, you like get the auto clicker. Like the hell is that?
But yeah, I'll send you the share drive on my Google that has all the versions in it. If you ever want to try it out, try out the stable version.
Thank you very much, Tyler. Thank you.
I'll see if anybody who listens to the podcast that is interested, let me know, and I'll maybe make a Discord with the link to the share.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, this has been another episode of
2.5 Losers.
I was trying to think of like a different podcast name. The Triforce Podcast. That's one I listen to. That's a good one. I used to listen to it. That was fun.
This has been the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, this is the Michael Rappaport podcast where I just shout at things in a New York accent. And good night.
See you later. And scene.
And see, I was going to say something funny, but I was like, you know what? I can't think of anything.